My name is Brennan and I'm a design team member for Stamp Anything. Today I am so excited to play with the Annie's Garden collection, make a super fun floral themed card. We don't even put a sentiment on it, so there's technically no other theme. It's not like a sympathy or a thinking of you or just a hello. It's just a card, people, with a flower on it. Just a quick little note, any Stamp Anything products you see in this video were sent to me free of charge as I am a design team member for them and that's one of the perks. So let's get into this video because I love how this card came out. So today we're going to be playing with the Poppy stamp from the Annie's Garden collections, which is from Stamp Anything. I am so excited to play with this. I have been wanting some of the Annie's Garden stamps for a while. This finally came in a DT package and I was so excited to see it because you all know I love flowers. And the sentiments on here are really nice. I really love the font. I used this one on a card I recently posted on Instagram using a different Annie's Garden set. Excuse me. So let's get started because this is going to be a really fun video. Right there, Poppy. Let's get started. So what I've done now is I heat embossed this in white on some watercolor cardstock. And yes, I'm gonna watercolor. If you've ever, I have some really bad and sad attempts at watercoloring on my Instagram. But I learned that doing it with Karen markers, or like watercolor markers in general, makes the process so much easier. So we're going to be doing that today. So right now I'm just wetting the big flower here with just a water brush, I think what it's called. What we're going to do is, it's really simple. We're just going to go around the edge here. When it hits that water, it's just going to expand like crazy. Look at that. Look at how cool that is. And this makes watercoloring so much easier. And right here, honestly, I didn't put enough water down, and that's okay. Because we're going to go back in with the watercolor brush. We're just going to blend it out a little. Ooh, I just got a little bit too much water up on the top, and that's okay. Just going to blend this out. You can leave white space if you want. I might leave a little on some, but not all the flowers. And that's a little too much water, so we're just going to wipe that off real quick. And I'm just going to keep doing this on all the petals. So I'm going to go back through and actually make sure I have enough water. And I have a little purple on there. That's okay. I'm not worried. And I'm going to go back in. I'm also using the color. What color? Lilac? Lilac, I think. Yes, lilac for a Karen brush marker. And we're just going to keep doing this for all the petals. Okay, so I did the 2 flowers, and then this bud over here, I only did like the flower part of the bud, not the green part. I just kept doing the same thing, putting water in, then doing this darker part, and just spreading it out a little. Obviously, there are probably definitely people that still watercolor much better than I do, but I like how this looks, and that's what's important. So now, I'm just going to do basically the same thing with the green. I'm going to be using olive green, and I'm just going to be adding water to the parts. I'm going to add color, which is the rest of the stems and the leaves. So for the stems, I'm just going to do something slightly different. I'm not going to like try to bring it up. I'm just going to basically go the whole way up with color. And in some spots, there'll be more water than others, and that's okay. And this is also 100% going to leak out the sides because this image, you might be able to see it, you might not. Definitely down here, there's little, it's almost like sketch tick marks rather than, it's just the design of the stamp. It's supposed to be like that. Rather than full lines. So it might leak out, but that's a-okay because I'm going to be fussy cutting because I am learning that for whatever reason, I actually kind of enjoy fussy cutting. So it will look much more cleaned up at the end. And now I'm just going to do this leaf right here. For this, I'm going to like go down the center kind of, I think. And then I will go in with my little water brush, and then I'll spread that out a little from the center. Also, apologies earlier for like not being that well in frame. I was in frame, but barely. So I apologize for that. I did not realize that because I was just so focused on watercoloring. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep doing this for the rest of the stems and leaves, and then you'll be back, and it will be all die cut, or not die cut, fussy cut. So I fussy cut this flower out. Just a little tip, if you don't enjoy fussy cutting and you need to fussy cut, I would suggest doing it while doing something else. So I personally did this. I went into my living room and watched TV. So I left the craft room to do this. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take some Stamp Anything ink in the color Caribbean Sea, and I am gonna do some ink smushing. So you can actually you can see this really well. Because this is a hybrid ink, so that means there's a little pigment in here. So that makes sense why you can actually see it on there. I'm going to add a little water. Yep, you can see the pigment. And we're just going to press this down. We're going to move it around. We're going to shake it, shimmy it. Oh, y'all, that looks great. I'm personally just going to add a little bit more water to here to get moving around, get some more layers. And I'm gonna hit this with a heat gun, and I'll do it one more time. So I hit it with a heat gun and most of it's dry, but what I like to do is when there's just a few areas that are still slightly wet, I like to go in and dab them up, and that will just create even a little more texture because it's a little more dry than some areas, but not completely dry. So we're just gonna go in and do this one more time. And just doing the multiple layers will just help to add more depth because you'll have some areas that will be darker because there's more ink, some that will be lighter because there's a little less ink, and it overall just creates a really nice look. So I'm gonna hit this with a heat gun and then our background will be done. Okay, so this is all dry and heat set. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna take my Stamp Anything glue and, ooh, I need to use a new one of these. It was like so low. Okay, so we're just gonna add some glue on here. And I don't even think this card's gonna end up needing a sentiment. I love the sentiments in the stamp and I really love the font. It's just a really nice, pretty scripty font, but I just don't think it needs it, to be honest. So we're gonna put this right here. Let's move it up slightly. Wham, bam, there we go. Let's press it down so it actually stays because our paper is a little warped. Nope. I'm gonna put this underneath a book once it's on a card. Actually, I'm gonna go put it underneath a book for a couple minutes, and then I'll be right back. And after a little bit of pressing underneath a book and gluing it to a card base to actually make it into a card, here is the finished card. I just love how this came out. I think the watercoloring is really nice. I just love how it works with the background. It really pops. Okay, I'm just patting myself on the back. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'll be humble. The card's okay. No, I love it. I love how this card came out so much. It's honestly, it's not extreme. It's pretty simple because it's literally just one stamped image in a ink smushed background, but I just love it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye everyone, and happy crafting.